So Black Ops 6 has finally released. After months of waiting and anticipation, we can finally see what the newest entry into the COD franchise is all about. It's actually pretty good. I really do like the game, and I'm very glad that I get to say that because this is the first COD that I've been excited for in like a very long time. And I made a video in June talking about how excited I was for Black Ops 6 because I think it was around the time when the gameplay trailer came out. But I also talked about how nervous I was because for the past few years we have just been getting straight up garbage products like Vanguard and Modern Warfare 3. So when I heard about Black Ops 6, I was very hesitant because I was afraid it was going to be yet another garbage game, but after seeing the trailers and as more and more information came out about it, my excitement only grew, though I still was very skeptical. And what made it even worse was this was basically COD's last chance to redeem themselves in my eyes, because they were given 2 whole years to work on this game, and if they still somehow screwed it up, then I basically would have just given up on the COD franchise entirely. But thank goodness that wasn't the case, and we actually got a good game, and I'm going to be talking about it. And this isn't going to be some super in-depth review of the game, this is just going to be my personal and general thoughts on it. So without further ado, let's just get right into this. So let's start off with the campaign, which was actually something that I was very excited for, as Black Ops 1 is my favorite Call of Duty campaign of all time, and I also really like Black Ops Cold War's campaign, so I was very excited to see what Treyarch was cooking up for this campaign, and I was not disappointed, as this campaign was overall very solid. I thought the story was pretty cool and interesting, and the missions were actually very good. I really enjoyed a lot of the missions in this game. By far my favorite was Most Wanted. I thought the section where you break Russell Adler out of the prison and you end off in a motorcycle chase and shoot off with the cops was very cool, and they also got some other really good ones such as Emergence and High Rollers. I thought those missions were a lot of fun to play. My only real complaints though is that there are a lot of unanswered questions, especially with the character Case, who is the main character you play as, and I'm going to be getting into a bit of minor spoilers, so if you want to skip ahead, just click on the timestamp that's on the screen right now. But I kind of wish they focused on, you know, how the heck was he experimented on by the Pantheon? How did he escape? How did he get recruited into the CIA? Who the heck was talking to him in the mission Emergence? Like, there are so many questions that don't really have an answer to them. The campaign only gives you the information that you really need to know, and everything else just kind of gets tossed to the side, which kind of sucks because I had a lot of questions and only like 2 of them got answered. My other complaint is that I wish we got just a little bit more time about the ending, you know, maybe like an extra mission to flesh things out a little bit more, because by the time you reach the last couple missions of the campaign, it does feel very rushed, and you can kind of tell that they're trying to wrap things up as quickly as possible. And I'm not saying the ending to the campaign is bad, I was actually satisfied with the ending we got, but I just wish we got like 1 extra mission to kind of wrap things up just a little bit slower, maybe answer some unanswered questions that we've been asking for the majority of the campaign. But overall, I'd say the campaign was pretty solid and very fun to play, so I'd give it a 6 out of 10. If you like the Cold War campaigns, then you're definitely going to like this campaign, and if you don't, then I'd say steer clear of the campaign. Now moving on to the multiplayer, which is honestly just standard COD multiplayer. I'm having a lot of fun with it, but there's really nothing special about it besides the Omni movement, which I really do like, as it does make the movement in the game feel a lot more fluid, as you can now sprint, dolphin dive, go prone, and I'm pretty sure some other actions too, in pretty much any direction that you want, and it makes the movement feel very smooth, and it's honestly just a lot of fun to just run around the maps, as now you're not restricted to only being able to do certain actions when moving forward. So I think the Omni movement is an amazing change, and I honestly hope it stays in every Call of Duty going forward, but other than that, the multiplayer is just extremely basic. And while I have gotten some very good and fun multiplayer matches, I've also gone up against people who are playing as if they don't win the match, their whole family's going to be executed via firing squad. So if you don't like the skill-based matchmaking, I can tell you right now, you are not going to like this multiplayer. But despite that and the multiplayer being kind of basic, I still find it to be very enjoyable at times, so I'd say it's pretty fun overall. I also just want to add that the multiplayer theme freaking slaps so hard. I mean, just listen to this. Now moving on to the zombies, and this was something that I was also really looking forward to, much like the campaign, and the zombies absolutely delivered. It's a lot of fun to play, especially with friends, and honestly, zombies being good or heck even decent is honestly just kind of expected because it's a very simple formula to follow and get right. I mean, how hard is it to screw up zombies? Oh, right. The Zombies is your standard round-based survival maps, just survive as long as you can, so if you like that, then you are definitely going to like Black Ops 6's Zombies. Though I do have some complaints about it. For starters, the UI is incredibly cluttered, and there is just so much going on screen to the point where it becomes an eyesore. And while you can turn off things like the zombie health bars and how much you're doing to them, which makes it a little bit more bearable, you can't turn off things like the objective markers and the mini-map, etc. I honestly think the UI should just go back to how it used to be, where you can see your character, how many points you have, and the info on your guns and your grenades, etc. Though I will say I do like the objective markers, as it does make the map a lot easier to play, as you're not just running around trying to figure out what to do. So that is very helpful, and I just think the Zombies is fun to play overall. But my second complaint is that I am not a fan of the rarity system. I do not like it at all, because it makes it to where if you don't have your weapon at legendary status and have it fully pack-a-punch by like round 20, the zombies and bosses become actual bullet sponges. Like, it is crazy, especially with the bosses. Again, if you do not have a fully upgraded weapon in the high rounds and a boss spawns, they are dang near. So it kind of gets to a point where you basically have to get your weapon fully upgraded if you want to keep killing the zombies. It also just feels kind of unnecessary to have a whole rarity system, especially when it used to be super simplistic, where you just got a gun from the box, you bought it off the wall, you pack-a-punched it if you liked it, and then boom, that was it. And in other games like Black Ops 3, if you wanted to add upgrades to that gun, you could re-pack-a-punch it and get something like Deadwire. I also don't like that they got rid of double tap for the rarity system. I mean, what the heck, double tap was one of the best perks. I get that they're trying to add new stuff to zombies so that way it doesn't get stale over time, but I feel like the rarity system was not one of those things that should have been added, and they should go back to how simple zombies used to be in terms of the weapons. But other than that, I think the Zombies is very solid overall, and I'm kind of looking forward to what they're going to do in the future. But overall, I give Black Ops 6 as a whole a 7 out of 10. It's definitely one of the best Call of Duty games we've had in a long time, which doesn't really say much, to be honest, because there hasn't been that much competition. But honestly, I'm glad that the game is the way that it is, because it shows that Treyarch and all the other people behind Call of Duty are still capable of making good and solid products after all these years, unlike some other studios out there. And that's going to do it for the video. Thank you for watching, and yeah, peace.